saw a door ahead with a stairway symbol. I headed for it. That's a whole paragraph.
Yep.
As I opened the door, I glanced behind me and saw 2 clown nurses emerging from the play place room. Their white nurse outfits were covered in streaks of blood.
Could have been tomato ketchup. They could be making the hamburgers in there.
I quickly shut myself
Oh
into
my
the
god,
stairwell.
are the kids the hamburgers?
That's what I said right at the fucking beginning of the story.
I thought you said they were going to be hamburger people, as in the actual hamburger. I thought that's what you meant.
Yes, Tommy, that's what Jacob was talking about.
Tommy, your fucking listening comprehension is it's like that of a fucking 10-year-old.
I need help.
Hamburger people.
I even clarified what I meant at the beginning as well.
I will go back and into this story and I'll be like, yep.
Yeah, but
I pulled out myself there. Never going to go over that one.
Hamburger people. It's like Mayor McCheese.
That's it, Mayor McCheese. That's who I was looking for. Hey, he's a good guy, right?
He's a G. We go way back. Mayor McCheese was on my debut album, which I did under my food hygiene based hip hop pseudonym, the Rhymelich Manoeuvre. I was part of a group called Mackie D's and the Munch Bunch.
Did you spit out hot lyrics?
No, just hot sauce. Can we just riff? I'm on fucking fire. Can we just do this instead of the story? I quickly shut myself into the stairwell, hoping they hadn't noticed me. The stairwell was dimly lit, with cement walls and rusty railings. I looked behind at the door. Are you still laughing at Rhymelich Manoeuvre?
Yes.
I just hear Gemma giggling next to me. I was like, nothing's happening in the story.
Rhymelich Manoeuvre.
It's like I closed the door. Funny guy.
It's like 7 kids were all getting raped and Gemma's like,
So this is now musical. I locked the door, closed behind, just throw on there.
I think we already did that and it didn't go well.
No.
I looked behind at the door I had just closed. There was a red number 5 on the door, so I must be on the 5th floor. I decided I had to get to the ground level. Not just a great lockpick, but a fabulous detective as well.
Mm-hmm.
Each footstep echoed as I began to descend the stairs. I couldn't hear the screaming anymore, just a low, deep humming sound, like pipes in the walls. It was a welcome respite. I finally came to door number 1. The staircase seemed to descend a few floors lower, but I stopped here and slowly peeked through the door. More white hallways, no clown nurses to be seen. So far, so good.
I stepped through the door and walked into the hallway. I noticed I couldn't hear any screaming on this floor, just a buzz of the fluorescent tube lights above. I came to the end of the hallway and another set of double doors. Jacob's doing a weird sort of dance right now. It's kind of distracting. It's also strangely hypnotic and erotic.
It's so Rainbow Rhythms.
A large red cross, the kind you'd see on a lifeguard stand or a first aid kit, was painted across the width of the doors. I pressed my ear to the door. All I heard was a slow, rhythmic pulse, like a machine at work.
You gotta see this.
And faintly, a beeping sound. Can you please stop dancing? It's very distracting. It's literally the whole time I was doing that. It's just and faintly a beeping sound, like you'd hear in a hospital room. There's a lot of beeps in a hospital room, specify. I knew I shouldn't open that door. I knew this wasn't the exit. I knew I should keep looking. But I had to see. I turned the handle. It wasn't locked. I peeked inside. It was a cavernous white room. Fluorescent lights flickered and buzzed. I saw wires hanging all around. And... ... hanging from the ceiling. In rows.
Gross.
Kids. Done. End of story. Kids in hospital gowns like mine, attached to white wooden crosses affixed to the ceiling, literally crucified.
Right, did not see this coming. I've got to be honest. I thought they were going to be like in like bags, you know, like you know in that scene in Blade 3. I know you like to forget Blade 3 exists because it is horrendous and it's made all the worse by the fact Patton Oswalt is in it and exists at all.
You want to die, Blade? Born ready, motherfucker.
You know, like they have all the human bodies in like bags, like draining them. I thought it was going to be something like that. No. Why have they been crucified?
No,
literally,
no.
Caesar.
Literally crucified. Literally crucified. Yeah. That word happened. Okay.
Man, Ronald McDonald is...
I'm so triggered right now. Ronald McDonald is literally Nero.
They were silent. Well, they're not exactly going to be dancing around like Jacob was just now, were they? They're not going to be like, I'm so happy, I'm getting crucified.
Yeah.
Their heads drooping forwards, their eyes either closed, staring at nothing.
About to die.
Yeah, some seem to twitch. Some seem to live stream on Twitch. That's alright. They're doing alright then, mate. But some seem to twitch.
Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to me, Crucified Jim. I'm playing Tony the Tiger's Mission Nutrition here on VR. You want to get this game? I'm live from the Ronald McDonald House of Pancakes. You can get this on Steam. On Crabs, all the most popular gaming platforms.
The Xbox 5, 12, 17, and the Nintendo 69.
I don't know if that's a thing. I'm losing a lot of blood. Everything's black.
I can't see a thing.
Some seemed to twitch a bit, but most were still. Their crosses swung back and forth very slightly. And the hanging wires. They weren't wires. They were intravenous tubes attached to the kids'
I was right about this.
wrists. Tubes sucking out their blood. I almost vomited again, right there.
Again, why are they crucified? It doesn't make sense.
I almost vomited again, right then. Right there.
Because they sold their soul to Ronald McDonald.
In the very centre of the room, amidst the rows of hanging crosses, I could see Jesus Christ literally getting resurrected. That's not in the story, but you looked at me then just like, what? I had to.
I was convinced. That's how bad this is.
I could see where the rhythmic pulsing sound came from. A huge steel cylinder which seemed to be collecting the blood from all the tangled tubes that dangled from the kids' wrists.
The chances of anything coming from Mars.
I opened my mouth to scream, but I have no mouth, and I must scream. To cry out in anger?
Why are you asking that question?
It's just a better story at this point. We'll be here all fucking day if we keep doing that.
All I could say was, what the fuck? And that was when the alarms began to sound, loud and piercing, like police sirens of hell. They must have realised I was missing.
Like the police sirens of hell. I can't imagine there's an active police force in hell. I think they'd be quite fucking busy.
It's like, 666. You can't.
What if the police in hell?
There's a crime going on. I imagine there is, yes. There's only evil people here, so yes, there's probably a lot of crime.
I imagine in hell, if the police work in reverse, so if someone's trying to be nice, then they start beating them up. It's like, no, got to beat us up.
Maybe this guy, his imagination's quite limited. He just imagines police sirens everywhere because he's lived in Detroit his whole life. Yeah. So that's what he hears in the morning instead of you get woken up by seagulls. For him, it's just like
seagulls.
Rather than being like it's just like woo 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 and gunfire
and remixes of whoop whoop. This is the sound of the police.
So you have to reach our offices in Hell if you want to get through to us.
Oh my god! Just remove.
She is filled with the puns today. Hell
remove Doc at once.
You love it.
Okay.
I don't know if I do.
I shut the doors frantically and glanced around the hallway to see if anyone was coming. No signs yet. I ran for the stairwell. As soon as I entered the stairwell, I heard laughter from above.
What is that?
I'm evil and I'm laughing, I'm above you.
Echoing and reverberating.
You'll find your enemy standing on a bridge laughing. I'm on a bridge.
Echoing and reverberating throughout the stairwell, the clown nurses were coming. Much like winter is coming, the clown nurses are coming.
It's just so unthreatening, isn't it? The clown nurses. What are you babbling about?
The
in and
red
of itself, a nurse dressed as a clown could be a scary image, but the phrase "the clown nurses were coming," I'm picturing some guy on a horse, crying out that the clown nurses are coming, trying,
The fourth horseman of apocalypse or something. The clown nurses are coming. Repent. I stumbled down the stairs as fast as I could.
Oh my god, imagine that. Just the guy with a sandwich board.
Repent, the clown nurses are coming.
literal clown nurses. What they do at the Ronald McDonald House is they get these children.
Exclusive interview.
They crucify them and they suck out their fucking blood, and that's what you're eating, and that's what you're eating in your Big Macs. And it just makes me so mad.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Sherwood, for tuning in for the morning programme and kind of got off topic there. I don't know how we got on to clown nurses.
Literal nurses, they're sucking the souls out of these kids. They're after their spirits. They're after their energy, which they get through sodomy. And they suck it out of them, and they put that in your Big Macs, and it's turning the kids gay and transgender.
We were just talking about the situation in the Middle East, but okay. We'll get back to our regular scheduled programming after this. I stumbled down the stairs as far as I could. I must have gone down another 3 stories before I reached the basement. Oh, great. I found myself running through a dark, sewer-like hallway with small light bulbs overhead every 10 yards or so.
Hillary's into creepy weird stick stuff, man.
Did he have a yardstick or something? How the fuck did he know it was 10 yards? The smell of decay and rotting flesh grew more and more pungent as I ran. Well, I wonder what's going to be in here then. The laughter continued behind me. I managed to glance behind me to see a group of them running after me. I saw them come into the light and then become silhouettes again. Their smiling faces and gleaming knives and needles pushing my adrenaline to the max. Push it to the limit.
To the extreme.
Zap to the extreme, you might say. I ran.
Thank you, Father, I will.
Yeah. I ran past alcoves full of stacked, rotting corpses, but I couldn't stop. All I could think about was anything. I couldn't think of anything but escape. Escape from the city.
I turned a corner and found myself facing the metal rungs of a ladder in the wall. I climbed until my head smacked the ceiling.
How stupid are you?
Below me, the shadows and laughter grew closer. Their footsteps slowed. They were close, and they knew it. I pushed at the ceiling above me, heaving upward and panting and screaming. The clowns were below me, laughing and waving their scalpels. Something cut my leg. Probably a scalpel. I screamed and pushed one last time. -- new paragraph.
Do you think these were clown dentists as well?
To be honest, I think the whole
clown
thing...
physicians.
I'll be honest, guys. I think this whole thing was a bit of a clandestine operation. Looks like she's going to fly into a fit of hypocritical rage.
That was unacceptable.
The ceiling gave way as a manhole cover slammed onto asphalt above. A circular opening. I climbed out and frantically pushed the manhole cover back over the hole, blocking out the laughter of the clown nurses below. I laid there on top of the manhole cover for a few minutes as I caught my breath. Rain fell onto my skin. The turbulent night sky above was a welcome sight. I looked around. Abandoned buildings, broken glass, no lights, no cars, no sign of any life at all. Just another normal day in Detroit. A police siren somewhere in the distance. Then silence. I climbed to my feet. Pain shot through my leg. I looked down and saw the cut on my ankle where a clown nurse had slashed me. Bastards. Limping the best I could, I started to walk.
Hello?
I called out. The only answer was a distant roll of thunder.
Somebody help me, please! How many times I said that?
My foot fell on something soft and mushy. I looked down. A newspaper. I peeled it off the wet asphalt. Most of the ink had faded, but I was able to make out the date. July 13th, 1992.
Now, the problem is with this date is we don't know when this story's set.
Yeah, so we don't know if that's dramatic or not.
Is that meaning like that's like a really old newspaper and it really shouldn't
well,
be
let's
there,
keep going
or?
because they might explain.
I doubt it.
Well, it's good now because he's walking around in the dark at night and he doesn't have to ask what year it is because he's got the paper. I dropped it and icy dread filling my stomach. I kept walking.
Can anyone help me?
I screamed.
Please, anyone! Please!
My words faded into delirious sobs. I stood still for a moment. The rain had soaked through my thin hospital gown. I shivered as the wind blew. Then I saw a light in the distance. It was a big yellow M in the sky. A McDonald's, of course. I limped towards it.
Why would you think that's a good idea? Considering you were just in the nearest Ronald McDonald house to the McDonald's, you would think that, they're kind of going to know what's going on considering their burgers are made out of blood.
When I came to the McDonald's, I saw that apart from the M, the rest of the building was completely dark. I walked cautiously towards the broken windows and looked in. Darkness.
Go anywhere else then.
I turned and surveyed the play place outdoor playground. 10-foot-tall structures of coloured tubes for kids to crawl through. Sitting at one of the benches was a familiar figure, the Ronald McDonald statue. You know, the one you could sit beside him and it looks like he's got his arm around your shoulders.
I do know.
Every kid has seen it. I shuddered at the sight. The doors were unlocked. I walked in.
Why?
That's
Out
bad.
of the rain.
Why?
Silence. Darkness.
Well, you deserve everything you get, mate.
I noticed that the decor wasn't like the modern McDonald's you see. It was still the same as it was in the 80s, with the white plastic booths and the red-yellow tiles.
The wind seemed to whisper through the broken windows. I noticed something on the front counter, a black rectangle. I got close. A laptop, a nearly new laptop. I let out a soft, delirious laugh. I knew what I was supposed to do.
What are you supposed to do? Come on.
So I took the laptop outside, and suddenly, by the way, the whole fucking story is worth it. I took the laptop outside and sat beside the Ronald statue. I opened the laptop and began to type this story. The rain is falling on the keys, but I don't care. There's nothing left to do now but wait. Because I've been noticing, out of the corner of my eye, ... Ronald is trying to look over my shoulder. He's laughing now. All I can do is join him, then end.
Ah!
Steph, put the fucking picture on the screen.
Gotta come look at this picture, man.
Oh god. What is that?
It's just a picture. After all that,
That's all it is.
after all that, that's the least threatening bloody thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
It might as well be Mickey Mouse.
It's Neg Mouse, you might say.
Oh my god.
Okay, well that was great. That was
Alright.
really great. What did they do with the blood? What
I
would
don't
know?
know. I assume it was for the burgers, like they're making the
But
burgers.
that's a bit much, isn't it? I don't know. Oh well, that was certainly something.
Why does it get kind of like weird at the end, like almost supernatural, which it doesn't? Why does the character suddenly go, "Oh, there's a laptop here. Guess I'm gonna go insane and write the."
I knew what I had to do. Like what? Yeah, I know what you should have done. You should have probably turned around, got the fuck out of there, maybe find a distant police siren or whatever. What's up with the date? What's up with that? What?
Yeah, there's no relevance to the 1994 thing, really, is there?
Maybe it could have been cool if they had a concept of this whole area that they were in. He was still inside or whatever, the Ronald McDonald house, but there was a whole abandoned town or whatever inside the Ronald McDonald house because it's the TARDIS now or something.
That kiddo says, "This is by far the best creepypasta I have ever heard.
Great,
Good job. Very frightening."
great. Not the worst by any extent. Just a bit. What?
Okay. Insane Killer 123 says, "Holy crap! I was already scared of crowns." No,
The Queen must be terrifying.
Now I'm never going near a
She's on
clown.
all the banknotes, mate. You're fucked.
10 out of 10. I knew there was something weird about the McDonald's clown.
Then don't go to Burger King then.
Yeah.
Oh my god, a clown with a crown would be terrifying. He would just die.
Okay, what the fuck is wrong with these people? Poor Stained in Blood says, "Holy fucking God Almighty, that picture, a trillion exclamation marks. 10 out of 10, scared the ever-loving shit out of me." Next person, Epic Gamer Man, "I'm going to kill you for putting that pic in the end. WTF. What the really stupid, amusing picture."
I'll tell you what, Jacob, we should write a really obscene creepypasta, which is relatively scary, and then right at the end just put a really random ass picture of some goatsy or something. What the fuck? We get the same reaction.
Just get like a gif of a cat freaking out at a cucumber.
It's like Brian Berta's like, "This story freaked me out."
Darkstorm 706 says, 10 out of 10, good story. Alright, okay, these people are idiots. So, Toby, what did you think of the Ronald McDonald house?
I certainly thought it was a story.
Gemma?
I mean, I disagree. I thought it wasn't a story at all.
Let's put it this way.
Yeah, stories have like a beginning, middle, and end. This just has a.
But like, like a
stuff.
burger.
This is
it has the bun.
Yeah.
It has the, you know, the
Yeah, effectively, this whole thing was a bap with some ketchup. Like, there was no meat, like, there was no substance.
It wasn't quite a Big Mac.
It was lacking the beef, you might say.
Where's the beef?
Bitch was beefless.
But no, it's not the worst creepypasta I've ever seen.
No, when we say that every time we read one that's even like vaguely competent, it feels like it wasn't written by someone as they were falling down a flight of stairs.
This guy is obviously written by. This one was written by obviously a naturally English-speaking person, which is fine.
Yeah, I mean, grammatically, I guess it was okay. So even some weird formatting issues. It was just shit. Like, it was boring, and the story, like, it felt like, a lot of these, they don't feel like they've been redrafted at any point. Like, they'll write the story as it comes to them. They won't do any planning, so they'll just jot the story down as it comes to them, and then they won't redraft it, and they just upload it as is. This had the same problem.
What you're saying is, write the fan fiction.
I'm just saying try harder with your stories. You know, if you've got an idea, plan it out first before you start writing, so you know what your story is. Then write it out, and then maybe even go back and do a second draft or a third draft, whatever. Because otherwise you're going to end up with stuff like this that's really just kind of mediocre and bad. It's still on the wiki, which is a shame. Really, it makes me kind of sad, but also amused that the Creepypasta wiki admins are so determined to have a website that can be taken seriously, that they're constantly deleting all the sort of comedically bad stories, and yet they can never finish. They can never finish scraping the barrel, because the bottom of the barrel is so positively subterranean. They just can't. They can't keep finding the worst stories on the wiki, and they can't seem to delete them fast enough. Every time I go on the Creepypasta wiki, there's just more shit like this, stuff that doesn't belong there, that isn't good enough.
Or perhaps they should just give up the ghost and just leave it as it is.
I think so, because that's the only thing they can do. Because at the moment they have the website's in this really weird place of like stagnant mediocrity, where you're not allowed to put up any like video gaming ones or OC ones or anything, which is, I mean, in a sense is good, but that's just gonna make people write shit like this. Like, so they can't say that it's a website for legitimately good horror stories when crap like this and Dating Game and Squidward Suicide is still festering on there.
Yep.
I agree. Just because they're popular doesn't mean they're good.
Yeah. Effectively.
But hang on, let's analyse this picture again. I'm just going to have a look at it quickly.
There's some spooky, what looks like maybe spooky eyes in the background, but it could also be some shit on the lens.
Yep, that's not spooky.
It's not scary at all, is it? It's like... Ronald McDonald himself is inherently not frightening. Like, that face is very... Because, he's made by marketing. He's designed by marketing execs, He's supposed to appeal to children. His face is very welcoming and kind of a bit silly. And, like he's kind of lost in thought about something really asinine, probably just about chicken nuggets. There's nothing frightening about that picture.
I'll tell you who is frightening. The fucking Burger King,
Yeah, no,
man.
he's-
Oh,
no,
man,
that's
he's
some scary
terrifying.
The Happy Meal boxes are terrifying. Have you seen
Oh
them?
my god, they are awful. Have you seen the high chairs?
Yes.
The new McDonald's high chairs.
haven't.
I
Awful.
wouldn't put a child in them.
Yeah, the new McDonald's Happy Meals, the way they look, terrifying. I would have changed the whole story to Happy Meals. It's fine. 10 out of 10. Anyway.
Thanks very much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more like it, you can subscribe. If you didn't enjoy it, maybe keep it to yourself. Feel free to leave a comment, and thank you very much to all these lovely patrons who made this episode possible.
He's pointing to one.
I am pointing to people to a screen that isn't there. Thanks very much, guys, and if you want to be a patron, you can. There's some cool rewards for donating. If you don't want to donate because you don't think the show's worth it or you can't afford it, that's fine. No one's going to hold a gun to your head. But when the revolution comes, you will be first against the wall. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time with more crumbly pastry men of the sun.